desire, some guilt, some pain for which you are not able to find solution. And now the best chance or the best way to get the solution is from Master. Master is here. Don't miss the chance. We are going to work on each major layers. We are going to work on desire, guilt, depression, fear, on every major things, not only practically, esoterically. It is not even actually technique, because they are so esoteric, so deep. The whole course is designed just for the total transformation.
The higher dimensions, when they enter consciously into the lower dimensions, they manifest as powers. If the space dimension enters into time, time literally manifests everything space wants. How you have a nervous system which passes the thought currents inside you, same way the cosmos has a nervous system which passes its decisions and thought currents, that is the space. Constantly be inspired by the space of the Paramashiva in your space. I'll give you all the 108 great gifts I brought from KAILASA. I'll give it as an experiential initiation to all of you.
Some of the scientists and researchers who are studying the reflection have found the reference. What is out there is not just 4 dimension, at least 11 dimension. The methodology they used, algebraic topology, and the informations they have, they even tried to map it down on the brain of the rat and confirming many of the informations they have makes sense. Understand, microcosms, telescope and microscope is algebraic topology. Macrocosms, telescope and microscope together is third eye penetrated by oneness. The moment it is initiated, if the third eye is penetrated by the oneness, it acts as telescope and microscope together for cosmos, Brahmanda, what is out there. So if you want to understand and manifest the powers, want to experience KAILASA, hold my hand and come along with me. It means sit with integrity and listen and come along with me. I'll take you to KAILASA now.
Nithyanandam Paramasukhadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatitam Gagana Sadrisham Tattvamasya Dilaksham Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadhi Sakshibhutam Bhavatitam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. Nithyanandam, welcome to the Nithyananda Rudra Show. I am Sri Nithyananda, and today we are going to be having an excited darshan with the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. He is going to be manifesting as Nataraja Swami. So as we speak, the Paramashiva Home program is going on right now, where thousands of participants are getting themselves ready to receive Nataraja Swami. Nataraja is the cosmic dancer, Paramashiva, who manifested through his own dance the whole cosmos. He does the Panchakritya through the very dance itself. So today we will be getting ready for that darshan. But one of the truths that are being explored inside the Paramashiva Home program today is the celebration of living enlightenment, continuous conscious breakthrough. Living enlightenment, reviving the ever-thriving science, literally continuously rejuvenating yourself with the truth of living enlightenment. In one of the first talks the Supreme Pontiff has given back in 2007 on the very day, on the anniversary, the 17th anniversary of the Living Enlightenment experience, or the 360-degree experience that he calls that first enlightenment experience. That was when, how, and he was in that beautiful talk, he shared how he was able to manifest such an experience, of course with the grace of his Guru as well as his deep seeking. And also he explained one of the fundamental formula that is there for someone to have this basic cognition about life and about learning things that one can apply to themselves. And he said that because he lived with this one singular understanding, this deep cognition, he was able to literally manifest and have the enlightenment experience at the age of 12 itself. So today we are going to see this very understanding and what this formula is. He was sharing when he was telling the whole description of the enlightenment. He says the reason why he had this powerful experience is because he lived in such a way where he was just immersed completely in the lives of the gurus that were around him. Wherever and whoever the guru was, he went to them and wanted to live just like them. And the thoughts that he was holding on to were, how would they do? How will they live? Let me live the same way. How will they speak? Let me live the same way. How will they behave in this situation? Let me do the same thing. And in this way, he was continuously introspecting and imprinting the enlightened body language and the enlightened consciousness into his life, consciously, moment to moment. And this way, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was able to give the breakthrough to the whole world, that is living enlightenment, living continuously in the space of that higher state of enlightenment. And the way that he shared, he has done it when he himself was a child, was by literally living, cognizing, living around the gurus, seeing how they behave, seeing how they are so detached from the world, and so how powerfully they radiate the space of Paramadvaita. In the same way he wanted to be. The words he uses is that he was thoroughly impressed by them. And in the same way he shares that you should also, all of us should also be learning how to be thoroughly impressed by enlightened consciousness. That is why we do so much in this Chaturmasya period to study the scriptures that are written by them, the thought currents and the powerful cognitions and the deep initiations that are there inside the scriptures themselves can really reflect and imprint on our consciousness and our day-to-day cognition. How would Nachiketa behave in this way? How would Bhagavan Sri Krishna behave? These are the thoughts that that should shape the way we are. Of course, this is beautiful for a child to be brought up in this kind of an ecosystem, because they are developing and they are growing. They want to know more, and they see others as an example for their lives. But as we grow older, we see we put ourselves into delusions of thinking that we have grown out of learning things, grown out of being able to change our lives. But we have seen from the example of millions of people that the life really restarts when we have the initiation from the Guru, when we have the powerful clicks and the powerful cognition from the Gurus, when we have Swamiji's teachings in our heart and we know that they're going to heal us, they're going to rejuvenate us, then being able to consciously change our lives thought by thought, moment to moment, becomes a reality. And that is the truth, that many of us actually share the same experience, and the possibility of being able to clear out and be more aware in the present moment and live our life moment to moment from the space of enlightenment itself, that has become a reality with the divine grace and blessings of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, as he brought out this beautiful science of living enlightenment. So we have a few statements by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and powerful cognitions where he shares about living enlightenment. Let us look at the first clip.
So many times you may have some desire,
स्वभाव चिन्मयानन्दं कृपापूर्णं जगत्पतिं हरिषड्वर्गजेतारं नित्यानन्दगुरुं भजे. स्वभाव चिन्मयानन्दं कृपापूर्णं जगत्पतिं हरिषड्वर्गजेतारं नित्यानन्दगुरुं भजे स्वभावचिन्मय.
Like one common mother, when child leaves mother, always feels very sad. I don't want to let go and don't want to let go. Can you explain? If you can, what was your mother's reaction when you left the home? I know you will not leave, that is why I did not take birth to you. That is why I did not take birth to you. I can say, if mother is too possessive of a child, she will not even give birth. What to do then? Even giving birth is a form of a let go. She is allowing him to leave the body. Only a mother who is ready to allow that next level explosions to happen, who is ready to let go, who is ready to give inspiration, or who is ready to allow, can be the real mother. Understand? If you are that possessive, if you are that much sad, then you should not even give birth. You should continuously feed him through your umbilical cord. The umbilical cord connection should be continuously kept alive. Then carry him continuously. Why are you giving birth? Why are you allowing him to come out? How? Physically, only when you allow him to come out after 9 months, he can grow. Psychologically, after some time, only if you allow him to break from you, he can grow. Disconnection is birth, and psychological disconnection is sannyas. Understand? In that case, in that way, I am very fortunate. When I went and told my mother, it was late night. Still I remember, late night, around 11 o'clock. I went to temple and spent some time, and usually that is the time I will come back. When I come back, I had my own key. I will open and come inside. I used to wear the wooden sandals, so that will create a big noise and wake up the whole house. The house was stone, granite floor. Those days, the Indian houses are all built with granite and teak wood. My grandmother used to say that the house was 300 years old. 300 years, something like a 10-11 generation they are living in the same house. Of course, huge house. Whenever I enter with that wooden sandals, it will make such a big sound, tatak, 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 tatak. Then they will wake up. She will wake up and prepare my food if I want to eat. If I have finished eating in the temple itself, then she will say good night, that's all. She got up and she was about to prepare the food. I called her and said, see, I have decided that I am going to go for sannyas, so you can give me food tonight. Even though I finished eating, you can give this food. I'll eat, because from tomorrow I am not going to be here. I am going for sannyas. It was a very casual announcement to her. Of course, surely she had shock, and she did not tell anything. And another thing, important thing, all of them know from the beginning talking or convincing nothing will work with me. All they know is, before telling them, I will be very clear. But when I say, it means it is going to be done, that's all. And she just started pouring. The tears are rolling from her eyes. I looked at her and asked, what do you mean? Do you mean to say that I should not go? She just moved her head saying no. No, I did not say that. All I think is, I am crying because I am not able to control, accept, that's all. But I can't say you cannot go, because she knows one day it will happen. The beauty is, never said no, not only never said you cannot go. She told my father, he is telling that. My father started thinking that she shouted at me or she created some problem. That's why I am telling this. And my father said, why did you shout at him? Why did you create any problem? And you know how he is. And my mother said, no, I did not shout or anything. He just came and told directly. Then my father understood that the situation was not fight and anything. It was a straight, simple declaration. My father came to me and he sat and asked me. One funny thing, even in those days they used to call me as Swami. Even in those days the title was Swami. He asked me, what Swami, what you are telling? I heard that your mother was telling something. I said yes. And I was not worried or I was not emotional, I was not disturbed or anything. It was a simple conversation. Like a very casually, how I used to have a very good relationship with the parents and very deep relationship. And I told him directly, yes, I have decided that I wanted to take sannyas and want to become enlightened. And it was shock for him. But he saw that I am very clear, balanced, cool, relaxed. Then he made only one statement. If you fall sick, just tell us that we want to take care of you. That's all. All he said is, if at all you fall sick anywhere during your travel, please inform us, we want to take care. That is the only thing we want. Nothing else. You do what you want. Never stood in between. Understand, only the pair, any relationship, when they are ready to allow the next phase, only then it's a healthy relationship. I have seen thousands of youngsters who are really inspired, bold enough, courageous to take up this path, seeking, but did not even had a chance to explore because of parents. What they have done by marrying, and they lived all their lives, and they want to make their kids also just the same like a buffaloes as what they did. No, it's a lesson. Whoever listens, let it be in record. That's why I am talking. It's forever, the future. Understand? Very rarely few souls get the inspiration to explore. If at all, you see, I am not saying train your kids or force your kids to become Swamis. No. If at all they discover the click, do not stand in between. You will be blessed. If you don't, stand in between. Stop from all your attachment. Even if he tries and struggles and becomes a failure, nothing wrong. I would have been a failure for at least 10 times in my 10 births. That's why this time I am successful. So it is good. Any exploration, any research, any adventure in the conscious field should be encouraged, allowed and supported. Try at least not to do that regular mistake in your life. I really want to get out of these attachment and expectations, but having very hard time. Then I have hard time what to do. Then what to do? That was one great thing. Still I always remember them with so much of respect and gratitude, just because they did not disturb. Nothing else. Neither they disturbed before enlightenment, nor they disturbed after enlightenment. That is the great thing.
System or the environment that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was brought up in was so nurturing and for his seeking and for his enlightenment. And that is also what he always says is contributed to his enlightenment from happening in his life, just because he had the people around him that supported him absolutely in his path. And in the same way, you showed the beautiful example of how his parents also were so much supportive of him raising, and in the same way he encourages all parents to see if the child is having the seeking in them, wants to have the higher truths as a realization in them, is finding the truth and the truths in spirituality and truths in the Vedagamas as something that they want as a lifestyle, then that must be nurtured. That is something so rare and something that must be treasured. It is beautiful to see the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism had such loving, caring parents to give him the possibility of whatever he was able to manifest in his life. Paramashiva himself manifested, and that is the same way many of us also share the same gratitude for the Vatavarana the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has given for us. To have that beautiful Kailasa ecosystem, that beautiful space, is literally the same thing that he had growing up. The gurus, the powerful cognitions, the parents, and the Vatavarana that allowed someone to flower just to find themselves enlightened and live enlightenment. And those were the keys and key points and properly the founding blocks on how this whole Kailasa nation is being made, because there is where it lies the true seeking. For those who are the true seekers, who want to come out of the normal way of existing with their patterns and everything, coming out of that and realizing the truth that you can live wherever you are, living enlightened, and that is the way that you create the Kailasa ambience inside of you and all around you. And that is the way that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has done successfully, creating hundreds of Kailasas in the form of temples and embassies around the world, where the civilizational nation is growing and is thriving. In fact, where the science that he has learned from the Vedagamas and is now reviving in all of these places is beautifully available for all those who come. And also, in a beautiful way, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is also using the digital platform, as the world is more than half the world is in the digital world, in the internet. In that same way, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is creating that same kind of a Vatavarana here for all of us, blessing us in many different forms in the social media, in the forms of various YouTube channels in the YouTube, and literally inside the channel itself, creating that Vatavarana. How many people who come to the Paramashiva Home program find the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism on YouTube giving them life solutions, and immediately they find themselves inside all of the teachings, and finding that each video that they watch is giving them a solution for one thing in their life, and they're just able to, as they watch the video, heal and move on, and see that living enlightenment, that is a power that is there inside of us, that continuous conscious breakthrough that is really growing and really harnessing itself and manifesting in people's life. And of course, finally, when they have the darshan of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, when they have the connection with him and surrender to him all of their karmas and their ego, and then follow the Guru Walk and live that as their life, Guru Walk as their life. When they do this, they find that they are able to manifest and be living enlightenment the way that Swamiji is teaching, and the way that Swamiji is himself radiating so powerfully. So today we have the Paramashiva Home sessions going on, and in the evening around 7 p.m. ET, we will have Eastern Standard Time, we will be having the darshan of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism in the powerful manifestation of the Nataraja Murti, the dancing form of Paramashiva. So we have another short clip about living enlightenment that we can take a look at now. If you have any questions, or if you want to share your experience of practicing living enlightenment or the radiating living enlightenment the way the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has taught us, or any powerful clicks that he has shared about it, go ahead and put your comments in this comment section. We are going to have a beautiful discussion and a opportunity for everyone to involve and engage in this beautiful Vatavarana that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has blessed us with in the Kailasa's SPH Nithyananda channel. So thank you for joining, and let us watch one more clip where the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is talking about living enlightenment.
The question says that if a master wants, even if disciple is qualified or not, can he give intelligence and the clear consciousness? Please understand one story from Buddha's life. Beautiful story. Somebody asked Buddha, you know
Enlightenment is the ultimate thing. Why don't you give it to everybody? And you can give. Traditionally it is believed, not only it is believed, I know for sure, enlightened master, if he wants, he can enlighten anybody just by one touch. Not even a touch. Just a thought is enough. Nothing else is necessary. He can just liberate anybody, give enlightenment to anybody. Buddha was asked, why don't you give enlightenment to everybody? Buddha said, please go around all over the village, bring people, whoever wants enlightenment, bring them tomorrow. That guy goes around from morning till evening, from house to house. Do you want enlightenment? Do you want enlightenment? Comes back in the evening, empty-handed. Buddha asked, what? Nobody wants. He said, no, 2 people wanted. Buddha asked, then at least bring them. I'll give them the enlightenment. So nice, the 2 people wanted. This guy said, no, they are not interested in coming all the way from there to here and all. If you send by post, it's okay. If you send from here itself, nobody wants. Second thing, even if they want, it's like one more item to be kept in their showcase. Not for transformation, just for some utility. Buddha makes a beautiful statement. God gives you the freedom to be in bondage. Only enlightenment He can't force on you. If it can be forced, even freedom will be a bondage. Understand? You are asking, can freedom be given to a disciple even if he does not want, even if he is not qualified? Now 2 things, qualification and wanting. Understand? Even if you are not qualified, it's okay. There is no qualification actually. There is no qualification. But the deep wanting it, feeling that I need it, that should be there. There is no need for any qualification. People ask me, Swamiji, what all you did to achieve this enlightenment? I promise, I had all problems which you are having. When I say all, I mean capital letter A-L-L. I am not having my own meaning. Don't think that if you inquire about that all, then I will hide some portion. No. When I said all, I didn't mean it like that, like this, no. I am very clear. I had all, A-L-L. All problems which you have. Not able to trust the existence or not able to trust yourself. These are the few problems. The major problems. I had everything. All I can say, there is no qualification for enlightenment. See, I can tell you from my experience, enlightenment does not need any qualification because I did not have. I did not have any qualification. For somebody to win a lottery, there is no qualification required. All you need to do, buy a lottery, that's all. That is the only qualification. Can anybody say, no, I worked, went all the way to the market and paid $1 and bought a lottery, that is why I won $100 million? No. The work which you did is too small for the result which you got. So enlightenment is always a lottery. It is always a lottery. Understand? Never. Once that experience happens, you will understand. You will really know the truth. It is just a blessing. Whatever you do will be nothing more than buying lottery ticket. Person who bought a lottery ticket cannot say, it came to me because of my hard work. But the fools, we always brag. Once it happens, we always find some reason to connect. No, I was also qualified. I was also qualified. But the enlightenment does not need any qualification. It does not need any qualifications. Great master Ramana Maharshi says in one of his stotra to Arunachala,
Tandadu, Yendanai, Kondadu, Undanai, Sadurar Yargolo, Arunachala. Let me translate. I gave me and got you. Who is the winner? Who is intelligent guy? He says, I gave me and got you. Who is intelligent guy? So enlightenment, you can have enlightenment by giving you. See, giving you is not equal thing for what you received. Even if you have given your whole life, it is nothing more than buying a lottery ticket. Buying a lottery ticket does not mean you have done everything to achieve the result. You have to win the lottery. To win the lottery. After it happens, you will understand it's just a pure grace and blessing. The result or the effect will be so big, the transformation will be so great, you can't think why you have been chosen, why it has been showered on you. No qualification is necessary, but the deep need, the seeking, that is necessary. Here you are asking, if a master wants, even if somebody does not have qualification, can he give the intelligence and the pure consciousness? He can give that, no need for any qualification, but one thing is necessary, deep need. Feeling the voidness, emptiness, because you don't have the spiritual clarity and enlightenment. Ramakrishna used to say beautifully, you are living in poverty, dying, no food, no clothes, but somehow you know in the next room so much of wealth is there and it is kept locked, and even if you take it nobody will know. Can you sleep? Either you will try to open the door or break the door. But unless you have that under your control, unless you enjoy it, you will not be able to sleep. Same way, you should know that you are in spiritual poverty, and you should know inside you there is a room in which the whole thing is kept under lock and key, and you will not be able to sleep. That mood, that attitude, that intensity is a basic necessity. Seeking transforms your whole life.
Yes, beautifully the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is sharing in this clip how he also felt that he didn't have any qualifications for enlightenment, but it happened to him, and it was just a grace. It was absolutely divine grace falling and happening in his life, and that is enlightenment. And this also we can also take in the understanding we had before, the context that we had before, not to but to seek and receive the initiations and the blessings and the powers that we manifest after having the initiation from Swamiji, just to take it with the humbleness with which he himself is having towards his own enlightenment. That is a beautiful example that he himself is setting, that it is not something that you were able to achieve on your own or manifest. It is all just the divine grace, Paramashiva's grace that happened, and that is why we have what we have, why we even have the Guru in our lives. In fact, there are specific agamic scriptures, and agamas always say, in fact the Kamik Agama also says that when one's when our consciousness has rebirthed millions and millions of births, and it comes to a saturation point, a maturing point, where it doesn't feel that anything in the world will give it satisfaction, or anything will give it any inspiration to to keep on going in this loop. It feels that it needs something more. It needs to be liberated from this pull and push of desires and fears. It needs a liberation from this cycle. And when that happens, the scriptures beautifully share that Paramashiva himself descends in our life as the Guru, as the Paramashiva. And this is something even we celebrate as a part of when we see the darshan of Nataraja. He does the Panchakritya, he does the cosmic actions, but when one has the specific Guru in their life, when they have the advent of the avatar in their life, that is when real experience of Anugraha, the final of the 5 cosmic actions that Nataraja dances, that final action of Anugraha, liberation, happens in our life. We are really exposed to that when we have Swamiji in our life, when we have Guru in our life. We are exposed to living enlightenment, and that is the way that he liberates us. And how does he signify this, Nataraja Swami himself? He gives us the lifted left leg, saying that surrender to the understanding that you are Paramashiva, that you are him, and then he will take you to the space of Paramashivoham, oneness with Paramashiva. And this is the experiential understanding that we even get, experiential truth that we live in our life after having Guru in our life, after having him as the source of our enlightened knowledge, the source of our inspiration, the source of even our fears and even our greeds, whatever it may be. As when he becomes the source, that really heals us and pulls us out of all of the delusions and all of the suffering. And that is the way we celebrate him as the reality, as Paramashiva in our lives. And he in turn, beautifully how he's sharing that, he says that all the problems that we are going through, he's saying, I have gone through. And this is even what he shares as the definition of a person who is known as a Paramahamsa, a person who has gone through all experiences in life, all possible experiences. And if they have not gone, la existence will make them go through and then qualify them again as a Paramahamsa. And this is the way the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is the Paramahamsa in our lives. Everything that we think we can manipulate or suffer from, and say that I am the most depressed person in the world and I have this suffering and no one has this suffering. In fact, a beautiful story is told by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism in these sessions in the Paramashivam program, where he shares that there was a kingdom where all of the subjects were feeling that they had so many worries unto themselves, and each one was feeling uniquely burdened by the amount of worries and the sadness that they're experiencing. So the king wanted a solution for this. So what he did was he did a raffle sort of thing, where he gathered everyone and said, everyone, now please put your worries and your sufferings on the card, and we will exchange the sufferings and the worries that we have, and we will therefore move away from our own and see others. And this was a solution that he had come up with. So before everyone kept their slips inside the cauldron that they had the whole arrangement with, everyone started discussing with each other about the worries and the suffering that they go through, and what they were going to write on a piece of paper and put it in the cauldron. But what happened was, when the king announced that everybody should go and put their worries in the cauldron and then take another, nobody went, because everybody realized that they are wrongly thinking that it is only them who are depressed or suffering in this world. It is a wrong cognition. Everybody also is going through, and it is beautiful to see even the example how the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is coming down to our level and sharing that everything we even are going through is something that he has also gone through, and he is able to master and come over and really heal from that. And he can, in that way, he is the right authority in our lives to help us, guide us to going over all of our sufferings, going over all of our patterns. And yes, we have some of the people in the comments sharing Om Nithyananda Paramashivam, Nithyananda. Welcome all of you to the beautiful Bhatavarana that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has blessed us with on the KAILASA Nithyananda YouTube channel. Yes, Lakshmi Mama Kalparukshananda is sharing some suffering are too difficult, and beautifully we can even share, these are the times when we are suffering most, that we are being held more by the Paramashiva. We are really being taken care now, and it is a time to even have the highest gratitude, because even during the suffering times we go, literally even overburdened by our own minds, in those times also we can also recognize how much we are taking care, how much we are to be in gratitude, and literally understand how even though we are not qualified for any of these things in any way, we are still showered, we are still blessed so much with these powerful cognitions and just healing blessings and transformative cognitions from the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. In this way, we can really further move in this path of living enlightenment. So finally, we have one more clip for you before we conclude today on living enlightenment. Let us take a look how Swamiji is sharing about living enlightenment.
Today's subject is enlightenment, guaranteed. Yesterday we saw enlightenment, it is possible. The first thing which we need to understand is it is possible because from the time immemorial there is a conflict or fight among our sages. One group of sages say there is something called enlightenment. The other group says no, there is no such thing as enlightenment. People who say there is something called enlightenment, they say the fact. People who say no, there is no such thing as enlightenment, they say the truth. The first group, they give the fact there is something called enlightenment. The second group, by saying there is no enlightenment, they create that as a technique. The idea that there is no enlightenment is a technique to make you enlightened. Because just by the idea that there is enlightenment, you make enlightenment as a goal. The moment you make that as a goal, you miss the goal. Anybody who makes enlightenment as a goal, they always miss it. It is not a goal, it is a very part itself. Please understand, if you are not able to realize the truth when I am speaking, the air which comes from me as a sound, the moment it reaches your ears, if you do not feel words in you, forget about the words. When you carry this as a memory in your mind, you will always give your meaning. When you start giving your meaning in the house, you will create two troubles. You will torture yourself and vomit these words on others and torture others. When masters say there is nothing called enlightenment, they are breaking your goal-oriented mind and they are bringing you to the present moment. From time immemorial, India, our Vedic system, the spiritual nerve center of the world, has seen two kinds of seers, two kinds of rishis. One group continuously who say there is enlightenment, the descendants of Shankara. The other group which says no, there is no such thing as enlightenment, descendants of Buddha, who say Purna, the other group says Sunya. But both of them are leading to the same reality. One group says the fact, the other group says the truth. When I use these two words, you need to understand, fact is as it is, as you understand. Truth is the word which you may not understand with your mind, but the moment you work with that word, suddenly something opens up in your being and you end up in the truth. By the words of Shankara, when he says there is enlightenment, the Purna, he inspires you to work towards. He creates tremendous inspiration. When the tremendous inspiration is created, automatically all other goals, all other ideas are dropped from your mind. When the moment when Buddha says it is shunya, no, there is no such thing as enlightenment. There is no such thing as Purna. There is no need for you to run. There is no need for you to search. Immediately, the tremendous energy which is created in you, in the name of search, starts falling into itself. It is directed towards itself. The moment the energy is directed towards itself, it becomes enlightenment. Desire without object is enlightenment. When you have some strong desire with object, you are towards that object. The same strong pull, desire, energy, if the object is removed, that same energy turns towards itself and you realize yourself. It's like in India, villages, they will burn the dead bodies. When they burn the dead bodies, they will use a stick. Ramana Maharshi tells this story. They will use a bamboo to burn dead bodies so that the body doesn't fall this side or that side. Once the body is completely burned, they will throw that stick also into that same fire and burn it. Same way, when Shankara says there is enlightenment, he uses that word as a stick. With that stick, he will burn all other desires of you. Automatically, the idea about enlightenment attracts you so much, all other desires are burned. Then finally, this one desire, enlightenment, that desire also is dropped in that same fire. That also disappears. Then you are enlightened. The other side, Buddha, when he says there is no enlightenment, simply he creates a space, he creates inner void in which directly you can drop. Millions and millions of sages and saints and rishis have come. They have come to the planet Earth. The whole group can be categorized in these two. The whole can be categorized in these two categories. One who says there is an enlightenment. The other group which says there is no enlightenment.
Yes, nothing more can be added to the way the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has just defined living enlightenment. I think these truths are something that we need to cherish, especially in this time during the Chaturmasya, where we are working on ourselves, working and living enlightenment and radiating it, and these powerful cognitions of living enlightenment that Swamiji is teaching is something that we can manifest right now. And if you want to have an experiential understanding of this, you should join the Paramashiva Home program that is happening every day, and this is a $21,000 program that is now being absolutely freely offered to anyone in the world. No matter where you are, no matter who you are, you can join this program and have an experiential understanding of living enlightenment. And today, beautifully, we are going to be having at 8 p.m. the darshan. You can start by registering in the QR code that is presented in front of you, or the link in the description below. Go to the paramashivam.org and register yourself for the Paramashivam sessions. There are two beautiful opportunities that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is presenting us. Of course, the fact that we are able to have the Paramashivam program for free itself, and so compassionately Swamiji is giving this whole program for free, especially giving the possibility for seekers from anywhere. And beautifully we got to know more about truly a seeker of enlightenment has a desire for enlightenment more than any other desire, and those are the seekers who gravitate those kind of things. And of course we beautifully have the Guru in our lives, Swamiji himself in our lives, guiding us and sharing with us how to even manifest that powers of enlightenment right now and live it. So you can go to the Paramashiva Home program after you register. When you go to the sessions and have the darshan in the evening today at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can have the opportunity to do offer your prayers, offer your requests for blessings for a living enlightened life, or anything that you wish to manifest in your life, or any healing that you request, that you would want to request for yourself or any of the loved ones around you. That is an opportunity that is only available if you come to the Zoom room sessions. And you can also, best thing is to be under the very eyesight of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, who is manifesting today powerfully as Lord Nataraja Swami. And we are going to be getting ready for the darshan right before the 8 p.m. You can join us at that time. We can also have the opportunity of offering your gratitude to the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, who has showered our lives with so much of fulfillment and so much of transformation. For giving the gratitude, you can offer even the Pratyakshapada Puja. How to register for that also, you can go to the paramashivam.org website and learn about the Pratyakshapada Puja and how you should offer the gratitude to Swamiji, in what space you should offer. And that is also going to be happening today evening at the timing, correct timing is 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. 7 p.m. is the time that you can all join the darshan. That is 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So let us conclude today's discussion beautifully. We have had many people join with us in the comments and engage in the conversation. Thank you all. Nithyanandam, thank you for coming. And we will now conclude, and we'll join you back an hour before the darshan today evening, and prepare ourselves on receiving the beautiful darshan of Nataraja Swami. With this, we will conclude today's session. Thank you. We'll end with the Purna Mantra. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Tat Sat. Sarvam Bhagavat Sri Nithyananda Paramashiva Padukarpanamastu. Om Nithyanandam.
Violent weekend across the country. There were several mass shootings, including 2 here in California.
Rate rises, inflation, the war in Ukraine, and the end of COVID have created a unique set of financial challenges.
A recent HHS government health survey found that nearly half of young adults 18 to 25 had experienced either substance use or a mental health disorder during the height of the pandemic.
And visualize yourself as Sage Vashishta. Gaze to the nose, visualize Swamiji in your inner space, and perform the Mula Bandha as you do so.
Nithyanandam, everybody. We welcome each and every one of the viewers who are sitting with us from all over the world for today's yet another powerful session. Followed by the very special darshan of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism.
For these 4 months, I am making the whole Mahaparamashivam
program completely free of cost. The program, which will cost $21,000, will be free for everyone till 24th October 2023.